What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing this guy, the 3.5-inch Cinehawk from Emax. Now, just a quick disclaimer, Emax did send this over to me for free so I could do a review on it. They have not paid me. They did not see this video before it's been published. I'm going to share with you guys my thoughts and my opinion on this thing, how well it flies, if it does even fly well. Stick around to the end. I'm going to have some flight footage for you guys. Now I'm going to try to push this thing. This thing is made for cinematography. It's made to capture that slow, cruisy, footage, stabilized footage or whatnot. And I'm going to try to push this thing, see if we can do some freestyle. I'm going to do a quick unboxing. Let's get right into it. This is going to be a review / overview. Now, this drone isn't new by any means. This has been out for a year or so. But I don't mind reviewing older products only because you get to see what everybody else thinks of it, and you get to see what it actually is, like how it performs over the years or over the months. You guys are going to hear my opinions, my thoughts, what I think is good about it, what I think is bad. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I just want to say huge thanks to Emax for sending this over to me. So let's see what we get in the box here. Comes in like a little sleeve. Now, as we open up the box here, as always, Emax does a great job on their packaging. We're greeted here with a couple cards and some stickers, it looks like. This first one here is for the propellers. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Looks like they got some stickers, a QR code. Now, this QR code is great. You're going to want to scan this with your phone, and it's going to bring you to a web page, and it's going to tell you everything about the drone, all the specifics and the flight controller and all that great stuff. So that's cool. Right here, this card is for the antenna. It's telling you to fix the antenna before you go and fly it. This is for like the ready to fly kit or the bind and fly, but the one I got here is just the bring your own VTX. So, and then there's just a quick disclaimer card here. Emax, says you got to be 18 and don't fly it around crowds and stuff like that. Now, this propeller guide is great. I'm glad manufacturers do this stuff. That way, you don't have to plug it into Betaflight without telling which way your props are going. So you always want to make sure your props are going the right way. And this is a pusher drone too, so there's your stickers. So that's what you get right on top here. So as we pick up the top layer of foam, I noticed we got 2 extra props. These are Emax's Avant props, 3.5-inch. These props are really aggressive, and it helps with this drone keeping it nice and sturdy while you're flying. And that's going to help because you always want to keep this thing stable as you're capturing that nice cinematic footage. So as we lift up the drone here out the box, I can already tell this thing is really lightweight. It doesn't have a lot of carbon to it, but it looks like it's nice and sturdy. We got 2 prop guards attached to each other, so it's 2 and 2. So if you do happen to break a prop or crack a prop guard, you just have to change the 2 instead of all 4, which I thought that was pretty cool. Such a unique design. The type of material they used is like a really sturdy plastic. It does have some flex to it, which is great. And I'll show you guys at the end why this thing is really sturdy. I haven't had a crack yet, and I've crashed this thing a few times. But before we get into that, we're going to have to add a receiver in here. We have to take out this little landing pad and put a receiver in there. It looks like we got a box, or a bag rather, of goodies on top there that just fell. That's just going to be your extra bolts and screws and stuff like that if you do happen to need them. You always get an extra goodie bag when you get a drone. Looks like we got our O3 plug there, and we got our, looks like an S-Bus FR Sky, and we're definitely not going to be running that, so we're going to have to add a wire in there to add our ELRS. I thought that was kind of weird. I got an older drone probably, but you guys may not get that. You'll probably get an ELRS up-to-date one. So there's a couple things we got to do here before we get this receiver installed. We're going to be putting this GEP RC dual diversity receiver in here with a couple antennas. So first things first, We're gonna have to take off this little landing pad, and that way we can access the actual flight controller. So right here I'm adding the ELRS receiver in there, and I happened to realize that this thing was set up for FR Sky or Free Sky, so there was only 3 wires and I needed to add another wire. So typically you need RX, TX, 5 volt and ground, so I had to add another wire to the actual flight controller. But that was simple. I didn't have to take the actual flight controller out or anything like that. I just added a wire right to one of the pads that I needed to. Now right here I'm just adding the DJI 03 air unit to the top, and it's very simple. They made this thing encased in carbon fiber so it can take a hit, and I love how they did this. It's very unique design, and you're not going to see this anywhere else. Let's get this bird in the air and see how she flies. So as we take off here, I noticed that this thing has a lot of power. It's got some juice to it, and that's because it doesn't have to carry an actual action cam, so you're going to save a lot of weight there, and you're going to get some more flight time out of it too, not having to carry extra weight like that. So right off the bat, I noticed this thing has got some smooth maneuverability to it, and I like how it flies. You can easily hit gaps like this, and I'm a freestyle pilot at heart, so I tend to do some fast movements and stuff like that, but this thing is made for a more slowy kind of flowy vibe. Not to say that you can't fly this thing freestyle, but I can't help myself. I tend to push all my quads to the limit and see where that prop wash comes out, and that way I know. But I'm kind of daring it going over here, going under the water. I got a little scared at first. I was going to jump out of there, but I know the 03 has got the range and the penetration, so. Now, as I fly this thing a little more, I get a little bit more comfortable with it. Now, just remember, guys, this is no stabilization. This is just raw footage coming right from the VTX. I got the EIOS or whatever you call that off. And I'm just trying to show you guys what the flight looks like raw. And whoa, a little fence there. Almost hit the fence. But here I am doing a little wall ride, or trying to anyways. I was going to hit this gap kind of going up, but I got scared, so I kind of fixed myself here. Now, I am really enjoying this quad. This thing is really great. Being a pusher drone, it just flies so freaking well, and these props are amazing. I thought about trying to put these props on my little 3.5-inch freestyle drone. Thing would probably rip. Try to do a little juicy flick right there. You see a little prop wash at the end. Now this is, stock tune. So whatever came on this, I haven't touched it or anything like that. I just put my rates on it. And I hate to mention this, but I started using Bardwell's rates from the very beginning, like 3 years ago. So I'm stuck on Bardwell's rates. So that's what I always use. But you can easily hit gaps with this thing, and this thing is incredible. You see how I do a little freestyle with it, light freestyle, nothing crazy. As far as like durability goes, this thing, I've already crashed this thing a few times. I know you guys seen in the beginning. I went straight to the cement with this thing right on top of the 03. And it's pretty cool how they designed this thing with the 03, even though it's in the front like that. It's all encased in carbon fiber, so I did land right on top of the 03, and it didn't even do nothing to it. It barely put a scratch in it. So I'm really liking this quad. I think I'm going to keep this one a part of my arsenal. This is my very first Cinehawk. I have these smaller 2.5-inch ones and stuff like that, but I think the Beta Pavo Pico or some bullshit. I don't know. I like this one. It's 3.5 inch. It's more in the realm of you can capture that really nice footage, and the thing flies too. This thing's got some speed to it. The more you tilt that camera up, the faster you're going to go. Now, I just want to say thanks to all you guys that watch this. I really appreciate you. We're going to end it here, and I'll see you guys on the next one.